Hello, Hillary.
Hi, Greg. How are you?
Good. Good to see you.
Nice to see you too.
And great to see you back on Earth after your whirlwind trip.
Yeah, but I might be in space. You don't know.
Yeah, that's
It is
true.
a link here, via like
Right.
satellite.
And the way they were communicating with their family, yep, right on time. But whole interesting movie. I mean, just even on, studying human beings, how we are.
Mhm.
And you got five people on board, you're in charge. And we're of course that, kind of rubbed a couple of the male egos wrong a little bit in the beginning, but
Mhm.
she persevered through and then also had situations on Earth. That and if that were real, I mean, that would just drive a person nuts, I think.
Yeah, it's definitely a lot to juggle, and I think that's one of the things that I love so much about the show is that it's a constant kind of life or death situation that they're moving through, and understandably, like you'd have to gain the trust of any crew that is putting their life in your hands, and I love that. I think it's written so well, and not just by the male counterparts, but by her female counterpart as well. She has to earn everyone's trust, and in turn they have to earn her trust. We're all like in this together, and I think that's one of the things I love about the show is that it has so many. We have so many different races, and then there's
Right.
the different genders, and then we're in this position where it breaks through the stereotypes, and we're just connected by the human connective tissue.
Right. And I agree with you because I thought the same thing. It's like you're watching this and it's a great message for people today. It's like once everybody really gets to know each other, there's no difference except you might like, Sprite and I like Coke, whatever, something like
Exactly.
that.
Exactly. And I think that's part of it's an exciting time in the end. It's a harrowing time in a lot of ways because a lot of stuff is really pushed right
Mhm.
up to the surface.
Right.
But we're like in a really exciting time of change, I think. We're not going back to old ways.
Right.
That's for certain.
No, that's for sure. And thank goodness. But like we said, but she's up in space, and then you've got a husband and teenage daughter on Earth. So regardless, it's still that, being the mom, making sure you're doing your homework, you're doing this, and just thinking, is the kid listening to me?
Yeah, I mean, and that's the thing, right? That even if you're not going on a mission to Mars, there's a lot of people, again, that no matter like what gender you are, that you are having, trying to find your and live your fullest purpose here on Earth, while while also having a family, and that might be your fullest purpose, but it's just busy. There's a lot to juggle, and how do you juggle that? And how are you present for both of those things? And how do you show up for both of those things without being completely stressed out?
Yeah. And the other thing when you watch it, a lot of times you'll see certain movies, where they're going someplace, everything. It's like the nice smooth ride. It's like they hit a lot of bumps in the air as compared to bumps in the road going up there that they had to take care of.
Yeah, they certainly do. And like we were talking about, it's life and death stuff. So it's the stress of that and what that means and what this journey means for the human race, and yet how much the simple things also are so important, like just being able to sit with a loved one and not even say anything,
Mhm.
and what that means to us.
No, I agree. That's one thing that I've missed actually all during this whole thing is, just being able to physically see somebody and, hug them or something like that. So
Yeah, people will relate to that even more now, than before in watching the show, and what that isolation must feel like out in space.
that's for sure. Because I did think about it. I mean, like you said, you have the five of you, it's just five of you, all there basically in this cylinder. And, they're the only five you've got. And you've just all got to, like you said, learn how to forget the differences or whatever things you feel about each other. And it's great just seeing how things just after a while, come certain ways. I'll put it that way.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, because I mean, there's so many things, but just so many great things. So people watch it, check it all out. Hillary, always a pleasure seeing you, and take
Th-
care.
Thank you. Nice to see you too. You be well and safe.
Hi, Greg. I'm very well. How are you?
You're going well. I might have a niece with the same name, so I told her I was interviewing you, and she told me to tell you from one Talitha to another, hello.
Really? Oh my gosh. See, I've heard people say they have family members with my name, but I've never met another person. I
Oh,
really, really want to.
if I had known, I would have had her come.
Yeah, I know. I would have been like, hi, Talisa.
Well, great to see you. Enjoy the series. And here you are, you play the daughter. And true enough, everybody thinks that all the problems that are going on are up in space, but
Mm,
there's enough going on Earth for you and your
yeah,
dad.
that's true as well.
Right. I mean, a lot of things obviously we won't say, but I mean, it's a difficult time where your mom's up there. And of course, as a
Mhm.
kid, you get worried when your mom just goes to work down the street. I can only
Yeah,
imagine a person if the mom, had to go up in space.
I know, especially if there's like a 50-50 chance that she'll die too, which they address in the first episode. I feel like that would throw me off a lot. That would like kind of damage me because I would be just constantly afraid of what's going to happen to her and if she is going to die. And there's so many things that happen throughout this series where it's like heart-wrenching moments. And I was like, I don't know if I could do that, especially at 15 years old, if I could go through that again and again and again, just being so scared for my mom's life. But I feel like honestly, Alexis handles it a lot better than I would.
I I can imagine because that's just it about the whole story. It's kind of like every character on Earth and up in the air, all kind of like have their own situations going on in their life.
Yeah.
I mean, true enough, they've got this mission they've got to do, but in some cases, it's almost like being in quarantine. They had just the five people there. Can you imagine that?
That's true. I know. And I think honestly the writers did a really good job with that as well, where they kind of dive into everyone's backstories. So
Mhm.
by the end of it, you feel like you know each character. Like whether that's Melissa, Emma's crew support, or Alexis, or Matt, or Emma, or Quasi, or Ram, or Misha, or Lou. That you literally go into each of their past and why they are here right now and what they're doing and what they're fighting for and all the sacrifices that they've had to made and all the people they've lost. And I think yeah, I feel like I don't know, you just really get to know each of them and you really start to care about them as the story goes on. And maybe that's my bias, but I hope that people when they watch it, that's kind of what they take away.
Right. And also, it's one of those where when you watch it all the way through, it does have a good message, in regards to just people. People are
Yeah.
people, and that's how we always have to look at it as far as Earthlings.
Yeah, it's true. I feel like a lot of people forget that, and especially in our society now with social media, we tend to like, what is it? The cancel something where we're like, oh, cancel that person. And it's like, okay, they made a mistake. Like, you don't need to instantly jump to this. Like, let's put everything you've done on on social media, every mistake you've made in the
Hmm.
public eye. And so I kind of get sad and disappointed by like how people respond to flaws. And not everyone realizes that we are human. We will make mistakes, we will do things we're not proud of, but that's part of growing up, and that's part of just becoming an adult and becoming a person. And it's just, I wish people gave everyone else a little more grace.
Absolutely. Well, Talitha, great talking to another one, my other niece Talitha. So good seeing you,
Thank
and
you, Greg.
take care, gentlemen. Great to see you both.
Great to see you.
You too, man.
And like I've told everybody, enjoyed watching the series. I mean, very intriguing, and it's like everybody's got their own situations, but it's kind of like watching it. It makes you think this is what it's like to be quarantined in your house when it's just the five of you up there in a
Yeah.
spaceship.
Yeah.
I don't know, what was that like? I mean, just even imagining that experience.
Well, there's so many parallels between what's going on now and what we went through and what traveling to space must be like. Shooting this series, my parents come from Ghana. They moved back to Ghana years ago. And so I see them every once a year. But this time while we were shooting, I couldn't get back to see my parents' 50th anniversary and my dad's 80th birthday. And so that added an extra sort of heartbreak to me, because again, we're missing all of these things. So imagine being so far away from Earth that you can't even see the Earth. You can't even contact your mother, because I could at least call them on the day and FaceTime with them. But imagine if I can't even do that. So there's so many parallels about sort of missing the things that we're so used to. Like even today, you can't really go out and get a coffee like you used to be able to. So it's making me think about all the things that I've taken for granted over the years.
Right. No, I understand completely. And Ray, I was going to say, even like for your character up in space, you find out, everybody's got so many different layers. And your guy, once you begin peeling them down, you find out some interesting things about him.
Yeah, you do. He's really mysterious. And it was what really appealed to me about the role was the mystery of him. And the way this show has been written, and the beauty about it is that we were given an insight into the histories of these people. And for an actor, that's gold, because you're given some stuff to work with. And for me, I was intrigued because this is a guy that's a loner. He's a lonely person. He has nobody to love. He has lost his family. And so for me, everything that goes on in the ship, once we learn what happened to him, we realize his decisions and his choices in every scenario. He's treating every situation through the eyes of his past and his past trauma. And for me, that was exciting to play. That's different. It's so different from me. I'm fortunate enough to have people in my world that I love, and I like to think that they love me back. But Ram doesn't have that. And for me, that sense of loneliness and finding his family within these people and this crew was just exciting to peel back. And I think there's so much more to peel back for him if we're lucky enough for this show to go on. And he's still so mysterious, and I love that about the character.
Right. And I would love that too, like you said, to see more. And tell people it's serious. I mean, a lot of drama going on, but it also has its funny parts, because I always felt for your guy when, like Ray would always tell you, I'm the astronaut. Yeah. You're the gardener, basically, the guy who's planting.
Yeah, it's funny, having that expertise as the character, right? But not in the immediate situation of flying there, right? So if we get another season, and if we make it there, by the way, I would like to be the one who's in command. I'm like, you guys are not eating unless I tell you how to plant this plant. So here it comes.
Absolutely. Well, yeah, would like to see how those plants go. And again, just a lot of things when you watch the movie and just seeing how everybody comes together is just a great message for everybody today. So
yeah, man.
Out of anything, I hope that's what people watch and get out of it. And also, Otto, I got to tell you, people always talk about my background. Love yours.
Oh, thank you. And I'm a big Audrey Hepburn fan. Yeah.
All right. Guys, thanks so much. Great talking to you.
All right.
See you, man. Hi, Greg.
Hi, Mark, Vivian. How are you both?
Good, pretty good.
Good.
Not too shabby.
All right. I was going to say that obviously you did the movie before all this started, but the situation we're in now definitely would have got you prepared for just being,
right.
Alone in a house. Because Vivian, tell me a little bit about just the experience for you. I mean, obviously everybody's character had something going on, but it was, great that they were, hopefully able to work things out.
Mm-hmm. I represent China. I'm a Chinese astronaut and chemist, and I'm supposed to be the first human on Mars representing China. So it is very huge. She's very she has a strong sense of duty to her mission and her family. And yet she has a secret, and she has personal desire. So that's Lou. That's the part that I play. Yes.
And even like your character, Mark, yeah, definitely everybody's character had kind of like a secret or something going on. Mm-hmm. And your guy, one thing that wasn't the secret to start out with, it was kind of like he wanted to be in charge.
Yeah, that's not a secret. That's well, someone who is in this type of an organization, in any organization. I've mentioned it before in the talks today. Coming from the military, I did 3 years in the military, and when we had the first
conversation we just met about the series with the directors and the producers, I was talking about how the dynamic of being in charge is basically the same in every place. It was the same when I was in the military. It was the same when I was in the theater. There's some kind of a power machinations. There's ego involved, and it doesn't skip this type of thing. Moreover, I mean, we're talking about something that the whole world is looking at. So yes, you wanna be the first, you wanna be the strongest, and you know, there's going to be conflict and there's going to be friction for sure.
Right. I was going to say, I like the way your guys slept at night, holding on, just kind of floating along up there.
It wasn't very comfortable, I have to say. Hindsight.
Right. And of course, you know, it's a serious movie, but there are, you know, a couple of things that do make you laugh. I have to say, Vivian, one of your lines to Mark, I thought was the funniest, when a problem came up and you're going, I know you've got vodka. You're like,
Yeah.
Right.
We
So you
bonded
see me
over
pretty
that.
late. Yeah. frustrating.
Yeah. But, you know, a whole, like I said, interesting thing. And it's great to see, because like you said, you had 5 people all from different nations, different
Right.
backgrounds.
And
And
they're not my favorite people.
right.
And yet I have to work with them closely in order to complete the international first international mission to Mars. So we work as one,
That's right.
regardless.
No, that's right. I mean, especially just even watching the last episode, again, not giving anything away, but it's just great, you know, with things that you got to see with that.
Cute.
All right. But hey, it was great fun. Oh, were you going to say something, Mark? Go ahead.
No. I
Oh,
was
I
like,
thought
no,
you-
I just wanted to, don't tell me what happens in the last episode.
Oh, okay. You are going to love it. Oh my God. Thank you both so very, very much. It was enjoyable watching this series.
Thank you so much.
Thanks again.